She walked in smiling, but the moment my mother saw her necklace, she froze. Her glass slipped in her hand, her eyes went wide, and I knew something was wrong. That necklace, the gold crescent moon, it was the same one my mother had hidden away for nearly 20 years. And when the truth came out, it almost destroyed our family. It was a calm Sunday evening in the wealthy suburb of Manhattan Heights. The Anderson estate glowed under the golden sunset, the kind of place where nothing unexpected ever seemed to happen. Victoria Anderson was arranging the dinner table in their grand dining hall, a crystal chandelier above casting warm light on polished mahogany. She was elegant, poised, and every movement seemed calculated, the perfect image of a woman in control. But what happened that night would shatter that perfect image forever. The sound of the front door opening broke the calm hum of background music. Her 17-year-old son, Ryan Anderson, stepped in with a wide grin, his arm gently guiding a young woman beside him. "Mom, Dad, this is Amara," Ryan said, his voice full of pride. His father, Jonathan Anderson, rose from his chair to greet her, but Victoria, she didn't move. Her eyes had already locked onto something. Around Amara's neck was a delicate gold crescent moon pendant. It gleamed under the chandelier, catching the light just right, revealing a single engraved letter, S. Victoria's breath hitched. Her hand froze halfway to her wine glass. She felt the air vanish from the room. She hadn't seen that necklace in 19 years. Amara smiled warmly. "It's so nice to meet you, Mrs. Anderson." Victoria said nothing. Her eyes didn't leave the necklace. Jonathan quickly tried to cut the awkward silence. "And how did you two meet?" "At the community robotics workshop," Ryan said. "She teaches programming to kids. I volunteer there sometimes." Jonathan forced a polite smile. "Impressive." Victoria finally set her wine glass down without taking a sip. "Excuse me," she said, her voice tight. "I'll be right back." Her heels clicked sharply against the marble floor as she left the room. In the quiet of her bedroom, she went straight to her antique jewelry box. Her fingers trembled as she opened the drawer, and there it was, an identical gold crescent moon pendant. Same delicate chain, same engraved letter S. Her pulse thundered. This was no coincidence. Back at the table, Jonathan's eyes kept returning to Amara's necklace. "That's a beautiful piece," he said. "Family heirloom." Amara shook her head. "No, I don't know where it came from. I grew up in foster care. It was the only thing I had when I was found as a baby." Jonathan's expression stiffened. "Found as a baby, yes," Amara said softly. "Outside a church in Queens. Wrapped in a blanket, no note, no family, just this necklace." Ryan reached for her hand, squeezing it under the table. Jonathan's mind was racing. He remembered seeing that necklace before, in a photograph Victoria had hidden away years ago. 3 nights later, Jonathan and Victoria sat in Amara's small apartment. She pulled a thin manila folder from under her bed. "These are my foster care records," she said. "There's not much, but it's all I have." Victoria opened the file with shaking hands. The first page read, "Female, newborn, approx. 5 days old. Found outside St. Mary's Church, wearing gold crescent moon pendant with engraved letter S." Further down, anonymous caller, female voice, mid-20s, said, "She's safer without me." Jonathan turned to his wife. "It was you, wasn't it?" Ryan's voice broke. "What is going on?" Victoria's lips parted. Her voice was barely a whisper. "I was 21. In college, my parents threatened to cut me off if I kept the baby. I wasn't ready. I left you there, Amara, but I left the necklace so you'd have something from me." Amara's voice trembled. "You abandoned me." The room fell into silence. Jonathan's face was pale. "Is she my daughter?" Victoria shook her head. "No, she isn't yours." Ryan stumbled back. "You mean my girlfriend might be my half-sister?" The only way to know for sure was a DNA test. For 3 days, no one spoke much. Amara avoided Victoria's calls. Ryan didn't know how to look at his parents. And Victoria lay awake at night, replaying the memory of the rainy night she left her newborn outside that church. On the morning of the 3rd day, the email arrived. 99.9% probability Victoria Anderson is the biological mother. No paternal match to Jonathan Anderson. Victoria sat alone in her study, holding the twin necklace in her hand. Tears blurred her vision. She had failed her daughter twice, once by leaving her, and again by meeting her with shame instead of love. That afternoon, Amara agreed to meet her on the rooftop garden of the Andersons' building. Rain misted lightly over the city. "I wasn't going to come," Amara said, her voice calm but guarded. "But I remembered what you asked me the first night, if I'd ever looked for my parents. I realized maybe I don't want answers anymore. Maybe I just want peace." Victoria reached into her coat pocket and pulled out the second crescent moon pendant. I had two made, one for me, and one for the baby I thought I'd never see again. Amara took the necklace in her palm. Her thumb traced the engraving. I'll wear it, she said, not for the past, but for the person you're trying to be now. 3 months later, the Anderson Foundation announced the Amara Lewis Initiative, a scholarship for girls from foster care pursuing careers in technology. At the launch event, Ryan spoke at the podium. She's not my sister by blood, he said, smiling at Amara, but I'd be proud if she was. The audience erupted in applause. Jonathan placed a hand on Victoria's shoulder. She's not your mistake, he whispered. She's your miracle. Victoria didn't reply. She didn't need to. Amara now wore both necklaces, hers from the night she was found, and the one Victoria had kept all these years. They were no longer symbols of loss. They were symbols of a bond rebuilt from ashes, because sometimes, the family you fight for is stronger than the one you're born into.